Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to this online presentation from Scotland's Rural College. My name's Graham West and I'm the Marketing and Student Recruitment Officer at our Oakridge campus, one of 5 officers at our main campus sites. Thank you all for joining us. We know you are all really busy and we appreciate you taking time out to join us today. We've chosen an online presentation as it was felt that this format would be more accessible and we would be able to reach advisors from all across Scotland. However, we also run on-campus open days, as you may know, throughout the year, so should you wish to join us or visit us in person, please feel free to book onto one of these events, and you can do this at our /open days website. Today you will hear from Hannah DeMello, our Marketing and Student Recruitment Manager, Alex Reynolds, who is one of our Academic Liaison Managers, Claire Morrison, our Admissions Lead, Chris Stockwell, who is our Training and Work-Based Learning Lead for all campuses, and Bridget Edmonston, who is our Alumni Relations Manager. I'm delighted that we will have contributions from 2 students, NC Horticulture student Archie Curran, but sadly Archie is not here in person today, but we will reflect on his journey, and PhD student Gillian Gordon, who is most definitely with us today. I'll now pass to my colleague Anushka, who will tell you more about what we will cover in today's session. Anushka.
Thanks, Graham. Yes, hi, I'm Anushka Curzon. I'm the Marketing and Student Recruitment Lead here at SRUC. I'm the one who's been sending you the emails. We've been totally overwhelmed actually by the response to join us today. So it's clear that there's an appetite for this kind of information session. So again, thank you for joining us. I'd like to say a really big thank you to Lynn Horton and Louisa Marino for their help and support to promote this event to the SDS network. So thank you, it's really appreciated. We really hope that we're able to provide you with lots of valuable information today, and if you'd like to follow up on anything that's discussed, do please get in touch. In today's session, we are going to cover more about SRUC, our college and university courses. We'll be covering apprenticeships and courses for schools. You'll hear from our students, as Graham's mentioned. Unfortunately, Archie's unable to join us, but I'll be telling his story anyway. We have Gillian Gordon, who joined us for an HNC and is now studying for a PhD with us. So we'll visit her journey. Then we'll cover admissions, student support, alumni relations, and then there'll be a Q&A session at the end. So feel free to enter any question that you have into the Q&A function, and we'll answer all of these at the end of the presentation. Please remember that this is being recorded, and we'll send a link to the recording at the end. So just in case you need to leave at any point or refer back or share with colleagues, do still get your questions in. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Hannah DeMello, our Marketing and Student Recruitment Manager, to get started.
Thanks, Anushka. So I'm going to just tell you very quickly a little bit about SRUC. SRUC is quite a unique institution, so we're both a college and a higher education institute like a university. We also have a business consulting arm, which is advising industry across Scotland and across other parts of the UK. And we're a leading research institute, which we have truly not only national but international reach there. In terms of our education provision, we're a tertiary institution, so we offer courses from school level right through to postgraduate and PhDs, and we're going to cover a bit more about that later. This map gives you an idea of the size and shape of SRUC across Scotland, and I'm just going to highlight the campus locations there for you. So we're located at Cravestone up in Aberdeen, which is near to Aberdeen Airport. We've got the Elmwood campus in Cooper in Fife. In Edinburgh, we're at King's Buildings, which is on the south side of the city. We've got the Oakridge campus, which is in Broxburn, West Lothian, and we have the Barony campus, which is just outside Dumfries. We also do some teaching in Ayr, and we do some teaching in Glasgow at the Queen's Park. So SRUC's overall mission is to support the natural economy, and those are the industries which are vital to the Scottish economy, which draw on natural resources. So obvious things like agriculture and forestry, but it also includes wider industries such as the food and drink industry, renewable energy, and also tourism. All of these rely on the effective management of our landscapes and our natural resources. Scotland has less than 10% of the population of the UK, but according to a recent study, it has a third of the UK's natural wealth, and that's the land and the resources and the potential to contribute to the economy. So these are really significant industry areas. There's a little here about SRUC as an institution. So we are a small education provider. We have about 2,500 FE and HE students, but we offer a really wide range of different types of programmes. As well as education, we have leading experts in research and consulting, which provide support to clients, including the UK and the Scottish governments, in areas such as animal disease and surveillance and rural policy, things like that. SRUC is one of the most highly ranked research institutes in the UK based on the quality and the impact of its research. I'm going to hand over next to Chris, who's going to talk a bit about the subject areas that we are involved in.
Okay, thank you, Hannah. Yeah, so I'm Chris Stockwell. I'm the Training and Work-Based Learning Lead at SRUC. So I coordinate SRUC skills training and also our apprenticeship provision, and I manage the MA contract with SDS. This slide you are probably very familiar with, as SDS do some great work around the labour markets. SRUC is well placed to meet some of these key labour market demands with our on-the-job training and campus delivery. Hannah mentioned the sort of climate change, net zero, green skills, renewable energy. They're all at the heart of SRUC's vision and strategy. Also, the unique nature of SRUC brings us close to the labour market. As Hannah mentioned, we have SAC Consulting, so they work directly with farmers, crofters, landowners on a day-to-day basis. We also have vets in our disease surveillance labs who work with all local veterinary practices, and now we have a lot of our past students as land managers, landowners, etc. Hannah, back to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. So over the next few slides here, Chris and I are just going to tell you a little bit about the subject areas and courses that SRUC offers. So we've mentioned a little that SRUC covers courses at multiple study levels. So we have SCQF levels 4 right the way through to PhDs. And within this, we offer progression pathways through many of our subject areas. So a student can join us at whatever level best suits them, and they study with us, and they can progress from course to course until they achieve their goals. And we'll be hearing from Gillian shortly, who did just that and can tell us a little bit more about how that works in practice. So our portfolio is really varied. We've got schools programs for people who are still at school. We have FE courses such as national certificates, HE courses such as HNCs, HNDs, as well as degree programs. We also offer apprenticeships and postgraduate courses such as MScs and research degrees. We have a lot of short training courses like skills certificate courses. And at SRUC, we have a real culture not only of lifelong learning, but of students switching between these different types of course as their career requirements demand it. So a student might start on an entry-level programme, they might switch across to do an apprenticeship, they may return to full-time study later to complete a degree, and then when working, they'll pick up professional training courses along the way. Chris.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so we offer a number of courses into schools for our S4, S5 and S6 pupils. That's available nationally via online delivery. So we offer National Progression Awards in horticulture and in investigation of modern agriculture. And we also have a couple of SRUC certificates in principles of animal care, and also one in veterinary terminology. We're also just developing a couple of other subject areas. So for the 2024-25 academic year, we will have NPAs in forestry and in equine at SCQF level 5. And we're also developing some HNC units to be made available in environmental conservation, environmental awareness. As I said previously, these courses are available nationally, so to including Highlands and Islands, but we do have some on-campus sessions if pupils can come onto campus. We do know that sort of pupils like to come and see the campuses, etc. So if they can come on, we can accommodate that. If they can't, they can still do the course via the online delivery. Next slide, please. Okay, so this slide's looking at our apprenticeship offering at SRUC. So our main apprenticeships is the SCQF level 5 and 6 modern apprenticeships, but we also have a pre-apprenticeship in agriculture, which we do in partnership with the Scottish Machinery Rings, and that's at SCQF level 4. This year, we're also starting a new technical apprenticeship, which is at SCQF level 8, and that's in rural land use and management. We're going to start with an agricultural management option route, but then later developing into option routes for trees and timber, for game and wildlife management, and also rural enterprise management. On the right hand side, you can see a list of the modern apprenticeships that we offer. The newest ones being veterinary nursing at SCQF level 7, and we're just about to start a new one in food production and processing, which is very much around the processing skills. So fits nicely into our food and drink areas at SRUC, but obviously a lot of the land-based industries have diversified, and now we're sort of ice cream, yogurts, cheese, etc. This processing skills fits very nicely into our portfolio of courses. Okay, I'll hand back to Hannah. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. So in terms of our further education and higher education portfolio, you can see the subject areas that we cover on the screen here. The best place to have a look at all of the courses is on our website. If you visit the course catalogue, you'll see them all listed there. In some subject areas, we do offer that pathway journey right through from intro NC to degree. In some subject areas, there's more of an FE focus. In others, there's more of an HE focus. So not all subject areas run at all campuses. So the website's the best place to go for the full picture. Agriculture, for example, we teach that from NC right through to degree, and we offer that at Aberdeen, Edinburgh, Oakridge and Barony, making use of our teaching farms and the facilities which are spread all over Scotland. At Oakridge, we have the Scottish National Equestrian Centre. We have our own golf course at Elmwood. So we specialise at different campus locations depending on what facilities are located there. We are opening a new School of Veterinary Medicine up in Aberdeen. That's already taking students onto the new HND Rural Animal Health course, which, as well as being a course with career outcomes in its own right, it's going to be a pathway programme into the new veterinary degree, which is planned up in Aberdeen. We're waiting on our accreditation for that, and there'll hopefully be some more information coming out about that soon. If you visit our website with a /vet, there's a mailing list there you can join to be kept up to date about the progress on the vet school. So just quickly, entry requirements for our courses, they're all given on the course page on the website for each specific course. If you've got any questions about entry requirements, our admissions team are really happy to help, and we'll be hearing from Claire shortly. There are some typical entry requirements here on the screen. Some courses do require specific subjects, such as a science subject. We don't yet have confirmation of the entry requirements for that new veterinary degree, but they will be available soon as well. And just to note that some courses such as veterinary science, veterinary nursing and animal care, they all have work experience requirements as well, but it should be really clear with the information that's on the website. Anushka, I'm handing back to you.
Fabulous, thank you. Now we're going to hear from students, current students. Unfortunately, I'm sad to say that Archie can't be here today, but I did want to tell his story in his absence. Archie is he's a current student at our Elmwood campus, which is up in Fife. Archie's studying for the NC in horticulture. Archie has described his 2.5 years at Elmwood as a good experience in a supportive campus. Archie actually first joined Elmwood straight from school when he started on the introduction to horticulture before he progressed on to the SVQ2 in production horticulture. Archie actually didn't know what he wanted to do as a career. He just knew that he wanted to do something involving plants and gardening. So he said that doing the courses really sort of helped him to decide what area of horticulture he wants to go into. During his time at Elmwood, Archie's been a resident in the campus halls of residence and says he really enjoys staying in the halls because it's got a real sort of community feel, and there's lots of sort of get-togethers and things like come dine with me style competitions and pool competitions, and it's just really great for meeting students from other courses. He says Elmwood's prepared him for the world of work, and he hopes to run his own landscaping business. He also has said that if anyone's considering applying for a horticulture course, he says, I would say do it, you'll enjoy it. So good words from Archie. Next up, I'm really pleased that we have Gillian Gordon here, who is currently studying for a PhD in production of beef from the dairy herd at the Edinburgh campus, and had initially joined us for an HNC, but I'll let Gillian tell you her story. So over to Gillian.
Thank you, Anushka. Thank you. Hi, everybody. So I'm Gillian Gordon, and I started here at SRUC back in 2011. I started on the course as an HNC bioscience student after my career advisor recommended that I apply for that course. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was leaving high school, and with the grades available to me at the time, I knew I wanted to do something involving animals, and this looked like the only option. So I went for it. And goodness, all this time later, I'm still with SRUC. I've managed to progress really easily from the HNC course up to the degree programme. And the thing I loved the most about that was that you stay in the same cohort as an HNC student all the way to the final year degree. So the friends I made in my first year were the friends I graduated with my honours degree in animal science with, which made it a little bit unique and a little bit different. From then, I went on to complete two masters, one a master's in international animal welfare ethics and law, which was in collaboration with SRUC and Edinburgh Uni, and again a secondary master's in human geography, which was in collaboration with Edinburgh University and SRUC. And from then, I've been able to progress into my PhD. So I'm currently in my final year of my PhD, which is looking at the production of beef from the dairy herd. My time at SRUC has been wonderful, and I have felt constantly supported as I progress through the different stages in academia, and hopefully I'll continue to work with SRUC as we go forward.
That's it. Thank you very much, Gillian. If you have any questions for Gillian, feel free to put them in the Q&A as if if you've got questions for anyone. If you would like to read more student stories, do please take a look at the SRUC virtual experience. which includes lots of stories and case studies, as well as other helpful information like campus tour videos and kind of general information on being a student at SRUC. There's loads of really good examples of, like I say, student stories and different types of kind of careers from each of the subject areas. The website is www.sruc.ac.uk/experience. Next up, we have our admissions lead, Claire Morrison, to talk through how to apply to SRUC, our entry requirements and our progression pathways.
Hi, thanks Anushka. I'm Claire Morrison, I'm admissions lead at SRUC. So me and my team are responsible for dealing with all the applications that come into SRUC. So applications are made in a couple of ways. So if it's UCAS, so that's any applications for full-time HNC, HND and degree courses, they are made through UCAS. We use the UCAS deadline in January, which obviously at the moment is always the last Wednesday, and we use that deadline for equal consideration. Moving forward, when the veterinary science degree comes on stream, it will use the 15th of October deadline along with all the other veterinary and medicine courses. If we still have spaces come the January deadline, our applications still remain open through UCAS until the courses are then full and we subsequently close them. So if you're applying for a non-UCAS course, so that might be a further education course, a part-time course or a postgraduate talk course, applications open in the middle of September when our website rolls over with the new courses. The majority of courses don't have set deadlines for applications, but we'd encourage applicants to apply promptly when the new system rolls over, especially for oversubscribed courses. They tend to be in the kind of veterinary and animal care sectors. If it's an apprenticeship or a work-based learning course, I would encourage you to contact the work-based learning team for more information, since it's a three-way agreement between SRUC, the student and the employer as well. So entry requirements, at the moment we're currently undergoing a full review of our entry requirements for 2024, so that information will be updated both on UCAS and on the SRUC website when they're confirmed. At the moment our entry requirements are minimum entry requirements, and these again can be found on UCAS and SRUC. Some of the courses, as Hannah mentioned, have required subjects. These tend to be in science areas or potentially geography, and we also prefer applicants to have National 4 or National 5 English and Maths, depending on the level of course they're applying for. The aim at SRUC is always to find the right course, the course that is right for the applicant, sorry. We're as flexible as we can be with our entry requirements, while aiming to ensure that each student is able to achieve the required academic standards to be successful. This may be that the admissions team offer a place on an alternative course from the one that the applicant has applied for. We also take into account maturity, work experience and motivation, and as alternatives to formal qualifications wherever possible. SRUC also accepts a wide range of access level and non-standard qualifications. Some of our courses may ask for additional evidence or work experience, and these are taken into consideration as part of the decision-making process. A small number of courses may also invite applicants in for interview. Progression is also a key part of SRUC, and some students take different routes through the courses offered at SRUC. Some students may initially apply for an HNC or an HND and then continue on to a degree once they've completed those first 1 or 2 years. Students may complete an HNC or an HND and graduate, possibly go off and find employment for a couple of years, gaining relevant industry work experience, and then return to SRUC to top up their qualifications to degree level. Other students might begin on a college level course, such as a national certificate, and then decide to stay with SRUC, progressing from one level of study to the next and continue on to either HND, HN or degree level study. SRUC also considers applicants with appropriate relevant qualifications, usually HNC or HND, for advanced entry into SRUC's degree courses, and usually this avoids unnecessary repeated years. So, for example, on the screen at the moment, this is one of the progression routes that is available. We may have students that start on an access level course, so for example, NC Rural Skills. They then use that to the next level and complete a certificate, and then they'll move through to NC study, and then they might continue to HNC or HND, and then they might even continue with us until they complete a postgraduate level study. So I'm now going to hand over to Alex, who is one of SRUC's academic liaison managers.
Thanks, Claire. Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Reynolds. I'm academic liaison manager. I know it's a mouthful. We normally call ourselves ALMs, but we're academic liaison manager here in the South and West faculty. There are 5 of us across SRUC who undertake this role, and one of our main responsibilities is the student experience while you are a student here at SRUC. We have fantastic teams that work across all the faculties and are faculty based. And they will include those looking after the academic responsibilities, pastoral, funding, and careers. Our careers advisors, I know that they are now starting to work quite closely with the SDS counterparts within the schools, and that seems proven to be very successful in ensuring that the pupils, whilst they're at school, are doing the necessary applications and the appropriate paperwork to come to us as a student. That's really good, especially if those students are already receiving support, and we can then transfer and ensure that that is continued at the appropriate level while they are studying with us, and all that is logged on our secure and confidential portfolio. But our student support team are here for anybody, for all our students throughout the tertiary offering that we give. There are some particular criteria depending on what course and what level you are on, and also that also relates to the funding as well, because we have FE funding for the SVQs and NCs, and then we have the higher education funding for those in doing degree courses and the higher national certificates. And again, the funding officers are there to help with that, and any other support that they need. So for anybody that has any sort of neurodiversity or any learning difficulties, the team are here to help with that. If there's any particular questions that people want to ask, if they send emails to the study.sruc.ac.uk email address, then and if they can put some keywords in to ensure that we get it to the right campus and the right colleagues, then that will help us enormously. There's other aspects that we can help with regards to the appropriate clothing, and that's something that the programs will help with as well, and we offer that depending on which course you're on and which level of course. There is clothing as well. That's just a bit of a snapshot really of what is on offer while you are a student with us and while you're part of the family. So what happens next? And I'm going to then pass it on to Bridget, who's going to explain what happens once you've done your studies.
Hi everyone, my name is Bridget Edmonston and I'm the Alumni Relations Manager at SRUC. So we've talked a little bit about the experiences and what we have on offer throughout the student journey. But when our students graduate, that's not the end of their story with us. It's just the beginning of a brand new chapter and relationship with SRUC as part of our alumni community. I've added in this little quote to this slide here, as I think it sums up that relationship between the institution and the individual. So your experience at college or university forms part of who we are as a person, and it's a major part of your life. So if that experience is good, those alumni or those past students are one of our most powerful resources. They're our biggest advocates, and they can tell the world about their experiences of how great SRUC are. And this assists with student recruitment. What's better than a prospective student getting the lowdown on a course or the job they can do from studying that course from the people who have actually lived and breathed it? Alumni who've had a good experience often want to give back in terms of time and money, And examples might be an interview for a profile for use on our website or in our magazine, or allowing students to visit their business as part of their module or of their part of their course, coming in to talk to students in the classroom, or even offering their time as a mentor, for example, as part of our new Enterprise Academy. Of course, alumni may also want to give back by donating money to the institution as part of something like a regular giving campaign, or even leaving a legacy in their will. And our alumni want to maintain and build upon the connections they've made when they've been a student between other fellow students and also staff. And that's where we come in. So how do we engage with our alumni community to maintain those important contacts? It's all about building the relationships and celebrating success. And we have got an amazing community of successful alumni in all fields. So what do? Well, we offer a postgraduate discount for our alumni who want to come back and study with us. More recently, we've launched access to our career service for up to 2 years following graduation. And we've also got a jobs board which we post on very, very regularly with really quite exciting opportunities both within SRUC and also across the sector. We also send out a quarterly electronic newsletter, and we also produce a hard copy magazine once a year full of stories about what our community are up to. We've got dedicated social media platforms, and we also facilitate class reunions and events. And last but not least, in 2022, we launched our alumni, it's a bit of a mouthful, Alumni Entrepreneur Network Awards. So the AEN, as we call it, are an annual celebration of our enterprising alumni and what they've achieved. As I said earlier, we have got quite a community of entrepreneurial alumni, from business owners who make beard products from seaweed over in Skye, to others in the How of the Mearns who make vodka from potatoes. We have distillers, gin distillers, cheesemakers. We have the first producer of Scotland's buffalo mozzarella. We've got agri-tourism businesses. We've got people who work in the environmental sector. It's so, so exciting, and it's just amazing to work with such inspirational people. So during our awards, we hand out 5 trophies in the following categories. We've got innovation, diversification, new entrant, alumni champion, and environmental sustainability. And my little secret today is myself and my colleague Julie have actually just found out who the 2023 winners are, but that's a little secret at the moment. So our awards are open to small businesses who have just started out, all the way up to multinational businesses. These people together to collaborate and network, which is ultimately what as a team we're all about. So if you've got any questions about our programme, I'm very, very happy to answer them in the Q&A. And with that, I'm going to hand back to Noosh.
Thanks, Bridget. Okay, fantastic. Well, hopefully you got lots of information from that presentation. I can see quite a few questions in the Q&A there. So if there is anything else that you want to ask, do get them in now whilst we have everyone in one place. So I'm going to start off, and I'll do my best to direct these as best I can. I'll start off with the first question that came in, which asks, are there enough student accommodation places available for students on each of the campuses? What help do prospective students get with arranging accommodation? I'm going to pass it on to Alex. I think you might be the most appropriate person for that.
Thanks, Anushka. Hello. Yes, so the answer in short is no, we do not have enough actual accommodation on each of the campuses, but we have a residential manager, and the residential manager will be able to assist you in getting accommodation within the immediate area. We have great lists of either landlords and buildings that we can get to. So again, you know, if pose the question, send the email in and use keywords like accommodation, which campus, etc., which course, and we'll be able to help you that way, and the residential manager will assist.
Thanks, Alex. I'm going to keep you on for this next question because it's also about accommodation. Is there any help with paying for accommodation?
That depends on the level of which course you're coming in. That for the FE courses, for those SVQs, National Certificate full-time courses, there are bursary payments available, and then if you are a HE student going at HNC Higher Nationals or doing a degree, then there are payments through SAS funding. Not everybody qualifies. It's done on a case-by-case basis, and some people may well be able to draw down extra funds as well in some other form of bursary, but there should be, in some shape or form, a payment offering.
Brilliant, thanks, Alex. This next question I'm going to direct to Claire. Can students articulate from non-SRUC HNC and HND programmes into an SRUC degree?
If they're undertaking a relevant HNC or HND, then generally that is possible. I would just encourage you to get in touch with the admissions team, and we can discuss the content of the course they've been doing and how that matches up with SRUC courses. Thank you.
This might be a Claire question as well, so let's see. It's from David. It asks, any plans to reintroduce rural skills as an offer for school leavers with some Nat4s and at Barony campus? Had people interested this year and have supported applications in previous years? It seems to be an accessible way in for those without Nat4 qualifications, also a good way for learners to explore interests with opportunity for subsequent progression and specialism. So I don't know, either Claire or Chris to take that one.
I'm happy to take it. Yep. Unfortunately, it was suspended for the academic year starting in 2023. I haven't heard what the decision is for 2024. I would hope that it will come back on stream, and I would just encourage you to either get in touch with us before the application process starts, or just when the application process starts in September, and we can discuss that, and then if there are any other possibilities that might be available for students.
Thanks, Claire. This next one might be for Chris, actually. It's from Nicola. It says, I'm a school careers advisor and was unaware you offered free online courses for school pupils. Would pupils normally do this in addition to their school timetable, and are there any conditions on who would be accepted onto one of those courses? Chris, do you want to take that one?
Yes, certainly, thank you. Yeah. No, they're normally offered as part of the choices in sort of S4, S5, S6. So we generally work with the teachers so that hopefully, it's taken as an option. So instead of a Nat4, Nat5, they can do the National Progression Award. Something though, having said that, the principles of animal care can actually be done as an additional one, but the likes of the MPAs, we normally get those as part of, say, as a sort of a substitute for a Nat5. The conditions, I say, we generally again work with teachers for that, so they can guide us in terms of where the pupil is at. But as long really, if it is a National Progression Award at level 5, then we're looking at they're ready to go into that SCQF level. There is some information about the school's offerings on our website. There's a separate area for schools, so you'll see the information and some leaflets as well about those individual courses.
Great, thanks, Chris. Next question is, what is your provision for mature students' career changes? Claire, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, we would encourage anybody who was thinking of changing career to get in touch with us before they make their application. We can discuss through the entry requirements they've got, the potential level of course that would be best for them, and obviously attending open days or taster days to find out more about the course content. And as Alex mentioned, we have funding colleagues on campuses who can help advise potential applicants about funding, and there is also the career Change Your Path bursary, which SRUC offers to mature students who are looking for a career change.
Brilliant, thanks, Claire. Next question is a great one. I'm not sure who's best to answer it, so I'll ask anyway. How do you encourage entrepreneurship within SRUC courses? Who wants to take that one?
I can take that. Don't know a lot about it, but yeah, I think it was last year we launched the Enterprise Academy, and part of that there's the Enterprising Changemaker programme, which students can apply for and gain skills that they can take back to their own farms if they're diversifying, or if they're wanting to start their own small business. So I think initially a lot of the content was by webinar and online, and they, as I said in my presentation, they brought in some of our alumni to mentor the students, and they've also got in-house entrepreneurs as well that are also part of that programme. So I think at the end of it that there's a competition that the students take part in, and I think we've just had the first cohort through in the last few weeks as well. So that's something that is ongoing as part of the course. Not as part of the course, but they can do that alongside their academic courses. I don't know if anybody else wants to add to that.
Sorry, would I be able to add to that? Hi there, everyone. Recently, I've just completed one of these cohorts for the entrepreneurs as students, and SRUC has a fabulous and significant team that's there to help students if they want to start a project. Just to highlight some of the support that I found the most useful was they were able to provide me with connections and training in how to gain patent applications and set up a business. They were also able to provide with opportunities and support for applying for larger business fundings like Scottish Edge, where they helped me through the entire process, and the person who was in charge of taking me to that stage even came to the event with me to collect my award. So the support that you get there is fantastic and gives an entire picture.
Fantastic, thank you, Gillian. That's a great.
Anushka, could I just very briefly expand on that? I think
yeah.
Also I found it at my campus that we, as a kind of precursor to sparking interest for a sort of entrepreneurial flair and ideas, many of our students are encouraged, obviously, to volunteer, and to, when they do that, when they get together with organisations like Nature Scott, RSPB, these kind of people, they can network. And I often hear stories of students who have been offered jobs either as a volunteer through the summer period or full-time positions where they have been in a position that they've been able to chat and talk and then get remembered by somebody if they've made an impression. And I think as a precursor to then getting into a full-time position, the volunteering and working with these kind of organisations is a really great opportunity to develop that kind of mindset.
Brilliant. Thanks, Graham. Okay, next question here says, you do great taster days. Thank you very much. Brilliant for career changes. Is the best place to find out about them your social media? Yes, it is. Keep an eye on our Open Days website, which is www.sruc.ac.uk/open-days, and all of our updated Open Days will be on the website, and we always post them on social media as well. So do keep an eye on our channels. Next question is, what do you usually expect candidates to achieve during their work experience at a vet practice where work experience is a requirement for a course? Is that maybe Alex to take that one?
Hello. Yeah, I suppose in general, for any work experience that any student gets, that they're really getting that grounding and that general understanding of what goes on within the work environment, and then they can bring that back and relate it to their studies. But if we're talking about veterinary nursing, or in particular, they get involved in a particular practice, and they get, as I say, a full understanding of the role of a veterinary nurse. They're in company with an existing registered nurse that takes them through as much as they can, or whatever goes on in that practice, so that they just get a full rounded experience of what's in store for them when they qualify later on.
Great, thank you, Alex. Next question says, I know animal-based courses are heavily in demand and students are encouraged to apply early. Some of my students have waited for 6 months between applying and being interviewed, which seems a long time. They can often be holding out for these and not considering other options despite our best efforts, and then missing other opportunities. Claire, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, sure, I'll take that one. Yeah, I do appreciate that some courses do take quite a long time to interview. We obviously encourage the teams to interview as quickly as they can. Obviously, a lot of the members of the team who are involved in the interviewing are also have a heavy teaching commitment as well, so we sometimes need to fit around their availability. But I would encourage, we do try the best we can to keep applicants up to date as to kind of what stage their application is at, but if they do have any questions, then get in touch. I totally appreciate that you are encouraging them to consider other options as well. But we do try and kind of keep the process moving as quickly and as smoothly as we can for the applicant. And I'm just a big apology.
Okay, thanks, Claire. Maybe one for Chris again. Are the courses for school pupils available to apply to on the SRUC website?
Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Some are, some aren't. The aim is that all of them will be available for online application via the website. Some of the ones that have been on, that we've been doing for quite a number of years, are on already. The slightly newer ones to us, we're just going through that process of setting that up currently. But if there isn't an application on the website, then if you just email the schools team, and they'll be able to send you out an application form.
Great, thank you, Chris. This is a Claire question. Applying for an H&D at SRUC means a full UCAS application, and this puts some pupils off applying. It is more difficult than a straightforward application to a college. Is there any plans to change this?
Unfortunately, there are no plans to change the application process at this stage, because SRUC is categorised as a higher education institution. We have to use the UCAS process.
Okay, thanks. There's a question asking the link to the recording, so I will be sending a recording of this out afterwards, and any links that we've discussed I'll include in the email for you. Okay, here's one from Caroline. You mentioned the H&D Rural Animal Health course will progress to new vet science degree. Will students start in year 1 or articulate into year 2 or 3 of degree? Who wants to take that one? Claire?
Yep, I can answer that one. It would be to the year 1 of the veterinary science degree. As far as I'm aware, that is the plan at the moment. It would be successful completion of the HND and then into year 1 of the veterinary science course.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That actually looks to be the last question. So unless anyone has any more questions, then I will finish by saying thank you very much. If you think of any questions after we finish here, do please just get in touch and we can put you in touch with the appropriate people. And I really hope you've got all the information from today as you wanted. I'm going to hand over to Graham to sign us out.
Thank you very much, Anushka. So my pleasure in thanking you all for joining us today. We do hope you found it useful, and please remember, as Anushka mentioned, that we will send on a link to the event recording. If you have any further questions for us, please use the generic study@sruc.ac.uk email, and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. We look forward to developing further our links with SDS in the future. Thanks again, stay safe, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.